Welcome to Subramani. Uh, Being an optimist is now almost a compulsion because your Prime Minister, your RBI Governor, your Fed, your US President, I don't think anybody today has the guts to let the market go down and remain down for say 2 years or 3 years. So I think a long bear market is something from our memory rather than from what is going to happen. That's what the people believe. If you have been in the market since the 1980s, 90s, etc., you've seen bull markets, you've seen bear markets. In fact, people my age, which I started investing pretty early. I mean, not comparable to Warren Buffett, but yeah, my first transaction, when I did my first transaction of buying some shares, it was 1979. And I was 17 years old, right? Those days minors could open an account and run it themselves. They didn't need their parents to run it for them like what is happening today. So yes, if you have been there so long, you've seen longish recessions, you have seen times when nobody even looks at the paper, nobody calls you. If you have been a broker, sorry, what could be worse? I missed the 1992 bomb blast missed me by 75 minutes exactly, because we left the place and we walked to our office, and we didn't hear the boom, the burst or anything, but we heard some noise. We didn't know what it was. We had an office about 1.5 kilometers away from the Bombay Stock Exchange, so we were in the stock exchange on the 4th floor, and the bomb actually went off on the first ground floor, but by the time we had left, so lucky to have escaped that. Then there were calls from all over the world, first from home, then from all over the world, saying what's happening in India, are you safe, and things like that. Next day was even worse. We attended, at least I attended 12 or 13 funerals all in one location, because that was the hub where so many deaths had happened. So with all that, I still didn't sell my shares on the day after that. The then Chief Minister Sharad Pawar made sure that the market was opened in a day or two to tell the world that look, we are resilient, we can come back, right? So having seen that, which is the worst, because you are very lucky to be alive, right? I could have been one of the 13 people who were dead, right? So anything like that could have happened, but then optimism always was there. So am I an optimist? Yes, I am an optimist. That's why I've been in the market for such a long time, 44th year, right? I just tweeted yesterday that I've never sold a share because I needed money. I've always sold something to buy something else. So I've sold equity to buy debt, I've sold equity to buy cash, I've sold equity to buy some other equity. I have not sold gold, I've not sold equity to buy gold. I have allocated money to gold, but I've never sold equity to buy gold. I've never been able to do that. Having said, why am I creating this background for you? I'm creating this background to tell you what's happening in the market today is complete euphoria. Is it euphoria? I do not know whether it is as per the definition of euphoria, but today nobody wants to even hear that the market is likely to come down 5%, 10%, 20% and stay there for 2 years, 3 years. This is just not, this is unthinkable. So if I go on Twitter and I say, I think the market will reach 1 lakh, Sensex will reach 1 lakh by 2030, I am ridiculed, saying anybody can say this. This is easy to say. Say something more dynamic. Like for example, there is somebody who thinks that if Mr. Modi were to come back, that is if BJP were to win, the Sensex will reach 100,000 in 2025. Repeat, 2025, the market will be at 1 lakh, right? This is what people think, right? From where they get this optimism, I have no clue. From where do they get this 50% year-on-year return for 2 years continuously? I have no clue. Are they getting it from history? I don't know, because 2003 to 2007 market did go up so much, right? I have no clue from where they are getting this euphoric tendencies or the super optimism. But let me tell you what all you should be worried about, right? So first of all, I think being bullish is not wrong. If I were not bullish, maybe I would be dead today. So I am bullish. So I did not sell, like I told you. When the bomb blast happened, I didn't sell. I was just 30 years of age. And remember, then during Harshad, the boom didn't sell, sold a little, bought an office, so that was sensible and lucky, but did not sell enough perhaps. But in 1993 saw my income, not my portfolio anyway got decimated, must have fallen 30-40%, saw my income fall 95% because nobody wanted to deal in shares, and I was a sub broker at that stage, and there was nobody wanting to even deal in any shares, right? It took a long way from there, doing ICDs and all, and then we survived. But being bullish is fine, but like Prashant Jain says, the market is never bullish or bearish, it is just changing of the cycle. So if you think that banks are very high and pharma is low, maybe it's a time that you sell your bank and buy your pharma. I am not suggesting anything, I am just saying that the market takes cycles. So maybe infrastructure will do well, maybe power will do well, maybe steel will do well, maybe banks won't do well. Or maybe you look at it this way, that if all these industries have to do well, banking has to do well. I'm not saying what will do well and what will not do well, but be ready for market cycles, right? So that is bound to happen. Something will give way, something will go up, something will go down, but be ready for all those kind of things. It can't be a perennially, oh, you buy Asian Paints, HDFC Bank, and etc., and you can never go wrong. You will go wrong. Some things will happen when there is a change in management. Like for example, HDFC Group has lost Mr. Deepak Parekh's services and Mr. Aditya Puri's services. Maybe the PE and the price to book of ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank will now catch up, right? Something like that could happen. Don't think that perennially, oh, sell ICICI, buy HDFC Bank is always a good deal to do. It's not been true for the last 2 years. So some of these things might change. It might be changing right when you are watching this video, right? So those kind of changes will happen. Don't get carried away by any idea or memes, right? So today people think the only thing to do is you should go short on Yes Bank, Suzlon, Vodafone, because these shares have to be perennially be sold, and shares like HDFC Bank, Asian Paints and Pidilite have to be perennially be bought. Right and wrong, I am not getting into whether Suzlon is the next Tata Power, or Yes Bank is the next HDFC Bank. I am not getting into it. Be careful, look at the numbers, see what is happening. When I normally don't like companies based out of Hyderabad, but when GMR Infra was at 16-17 rupees, my logic was very simple. With these kind of assets, this share can't do too badly. So anyway, many shares have done very well from March 2020, but I don't think I bought it even in March 2020. Sometime later I could buy that share for 20 or 21 rupees or 22 rupees. Today it is at 52 rupees. GMR, is it a great share? No, but it has given me good returns. Will I sell it off? I don't know. When I'm giving you examples, I'm just giving you examples from my portfolio. Do I have Yes Bank? I bought Yes Bank, I've sold, I've done many things. I still hold Yes Bank. Do I have HDFC Bank? Yes, since 1994. Do I hold Asian Paints? Yes. Do I hold Pidilite? Yes. So all these are examples from my portfolio, but I'm not saying that, oh, because if you see Gillette didn't do as well as Colgate did, same profile, so you think so many Indian shave, so many women, Gillette has women shaving products also, so you think, oh, it will do well. It didn't do well, but Colgate did well. You think, oh, Patanjali will take over from Colgate. Yes, maybe it will, maybe over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Maybe all those things will happen, but right now Colgate is doing well, Gillette is not doing too well. So be careful about which shares you're buying, if you're not keen on all that, stick to an index fund. That's still a good story, right? If you don't know what to buy, be careful about what you're buying, but don't get carried away by stories saying, oh, such a big population, all men have to shave. Well, if all men are like Virat Kohli, then nobody will shave, right? Everybody is not clean shaven. So is Gillette doing well? Maybe it's doing well. Is it a good time to buy? I don't know. Last 4 or 5 years, Colgate has done better than Gillette, right? So to say that every share will do well because India has got that demography and all that is fine, but true or false, you only time will tell you. The estimates which our analysts make are very nice to see and read, but how to interpret it is very difficult, because in the bull market people say, oh, don't worry about the estimates, this company is doing well, it is building market share, etc., etc., therefore it will do well. And exactly when the markets go down, people will say, but this was so obvious, how could Indigo do well? Look at the numbers, they just don't add up. Just one quarter they did well doesn't mean Indigo is a good buy, doesn't mean Zomato is a good buy. Look at the losses they make. When the same data is presented to them in the bull market, they'll say, see, whatever all said and done, Indigo numbers may not be good, but remember they have 62% market share. Look at like Maruti has a 50+% market share. Zomato is building market share, they are penetrating the market. So in a bull market, same data looks good. In a bear market, same data looks like, I think Indigo is worth selling at 2,500 because the markets are only likely to go down. Fine, both these theories you will hear. So looking at estimates, when you look at estimates of people, what people say, what is going to happen in the future, just remember, God sits up there and he must be smiling, laughing, cracking up, I don't know. Look at this very simple thing. Mr. Ratan Tata thought Mr. Cyrus Mistry will take over from him. Forget the political part that Cyrus Mistry was no longer part of Tata's. But Cyrus Mistry died first, right? Mr. Tata is alive, God bless his soul, maybe he lived to 100. But when you estimate that Cyrus Mistry is so much younger to you, so therefore he will take over, God's plans are different. So when you look at estimates made by analysts, just remember, these are just estimates. There is nothing for you to feel good or bad about the data. The same guys will come out with something else and say, oh, this pattern is broken, now you should sell, the Nifty will go down. And at the same time, some other share which could be doing very well, completely beating your expectations. Both could happen, right? Suzlon was a completely written off company at 6 rupees, but those who bought it at 6 rupees are laughing their way because it's at 20 rupees. GMR was available at 20 rupees, today it is at 52 rupees, right? All these things happen. Yes Bank came with an IPO at 12. It went to 20 or 19 or something, then it went back to 12, then now it is at 17, 18. Is it a good share? I have no clue. Is it a share there in my portfolio? Yes, I bought it at 12 because I believe that if HDFC Bank and SBI can buy it, I can't go too wrong with the price, right? Am I discounting the value of Yes Bank too much into the future? Maybe. Am I building a portfolio for 2033? No. Am I building a portfolio for 2040? Maybe yes. So I am not building a 10-year portfolio. Maybe I am building a 20-year portfolio. Maybe for me it looks good. For you, does it look good? You have to decide. I am not recommending Yes Bank. I have no clue whether it will do well in the long run, but I have it because I thought at 12 it can't be too bad a buy, right? So then there is this fear of saying, oh my God, the market is going to go up, so I have to buy. My neighbor has bought, my friend has bought, etc. But I thought it worked. FOMO worked more in the in buying assets which are visible to people. Why should it matter? You can just go and tell people that you have invested. It doesn't matter whether you have actually invested. But FOMO is a real big worry. So people are worried about FOMO. People should be careful about FOMO. So being optimistic when others are pessimistic is fine. Being pessimistic when others are optimistic is fine, but it can happen that you sell today and the market is at 67,000 on the Sensex. Then the market goes up to 72,000 and you say, oh my God, I shouldn't have listened to Subra. So you go and buy it again at 72,000. Then the market falls, it comes down to 60,000. You say, oh, I should have waited. So patience is something which we all need, right? Santushti and Saburi, right? These are two things you need. Saburi is something like, yes, it is about patience. Santushti is about satisfaction. If you have got 18% return, be happy with it. Don't worry about your neighbor in small cap who got 32% return. Yes, it is bound to happen, but that 32% cannot be followed by 12%. 32% has to be followed by a number which will be much lesser so that the average return comes to 12%. So remember all this while you are investing. Remember that in the last few years, maybe since 2020, the market has done extremely well. We are all bullish. We know that the government will not want to be very bearish, but remember, companies, countries are all run by human beings. There are human frailties. Human beings can fall ill. Human beings can die. Congress party can revive. BJP party can have infighting. All these things can happen. 2024, lot of uncertainty. All of us are optimistic that Mr. Vajpayee would have come back in 2004. He didn't. So in 2024, again, we're all optimistic that Mr. Narendra Modi will come back with 370 seats. What happens if he doesn't? Are we ready for that? That's the question you have to answer. Thank you.